Hello everybody and welcome to a brand new Elder Scrolls Online PTS test video with me, Sherman. Today guys, I'm going to be showing you guys the one-handed and shield damage test that I've been parsing with and what I've been getting, what results I've been getting, things like that. Now before I get started, I am going to go over the gear, traits, and everything, but I do want to talk a little bit about target skeletons and why I parse test on the precursor versus a 3 million dummy. What a lot of people don't realize is that most dungeon enemies you fight in the game are the final boss in the dungeon, only on hard mode, will have over 3 million health. So most of the bosses have anywhere between 1.2 to 1.8 to 2.6 or something like that. This is more than enough to show a representation of what DPS can look like inside of a dungeon on a damage dealer. Now, I will admit, parsing on these, on this 3 million dummy or the 6 million dummy does show your sustain and shows how well you can sustain on a build. But another thing you have to understand is all my builds are built to have sustain built into them. They are made to have self-sustainability. They are not made to be like a lot of other builds where they have no sustain. So this is what my sustain looks like. I have a 1250 stamina recovery. I'm also a red guard, so I also get the passive of the red guard, which gives 990 stamina every 5 seconds on top of the 1250 every 2 seconds, on top of how low and cheap my stamina abilities cost. So this is what I'm using skill wise for my DPS rotation. I'm using Venomous Claw, I'm using Deep Slash, which by the way does a lot of damage, Noxious Breath, Power Slam, Flames of Oblivion, Flawless Dawnbreaker, Barb Trap, Venom Arrow, Air Barrage, Razor Caltrops, and this is here. This is kind of like a floater ability. You could put other things here if you want to. And Corrosive Armor is here just for the purpose of playing dungeons and testing in dungeons. Standard of Might is another great ability you can use, but it costs a lot of ultimate compared to like Flawless Dawnbreaker, which is only 125. So let's go ahead and talk about the gear that I'm testing with. So I am using Celestrix set. This is a really good set. It adds max stamina, and then when you deal damage, you have a 10% chance to create an earthquake on an enemy that erupts after 1.5 seconds, dealing X amount of damage to all enemies in 4 meters. And stunning them for 3 seconds. That can happen every 5.5 seconds. It goes off quite a bit. The next set we are using is Hunting's Rage. Great set. 2-piece weapon critical, 3-piece max stam, 4-piece weapon critical, 5-piece weapon damage. And then the Ring or the Twin Sisters set is the other set we're using. This isn't a widely used set. Not a lot of people see its purpose. But when you play a medium armor tank, it's a great set, because it gives you that stamina recovery, it gives you that max stamina, it gives you that weapon critical, and then when you block an attack, you have a 20% chance to cause all enemies within 5 meters of you to bleed for X amount of physical damage over 10 seconds, every 10 seconds. Can't beat it. Sorry. But we're going to mainly use it for the 2, 3, and 4-piece benefits. The shield is Divines for now, but I would suggest if you are going to play this type of a build and you're going to play it as a tank, go Sturdy. So we're just going to leave it Divines for now while we do this test. The setup on the traits and everything and enchants, we're running 3 tri-stats on the big pieces. This is to maximize our ability to have a greater stamina, magic, and health. We're also running a tri-stat on the shield. And then on the smaller pieces, we are running all max stamina, divines, enchants on the small pieces. Now, the helm and legs are infused, with the chest being reinforced heavy. The light piece is your belt. Everything else is going to be medium. On the jewelry, we're running 2 rings of Trirune with weapon damage enchants. The 3rd piece, the necklace, is Bloodthirsty with the stam recovery. We are using a Nirnhone sword with an absorbed stamina, and our bow is infused with a weapon spell damage enchant. Now, like I said, this is primarily to show what DPS can look like with a sword and shield now, and that's about it. So let's go ahead and do a quick parse with this. On the little guy, the other reason why I show parses on the little one and the big one only is because it's just easier to do than sitting there parsing on a giant skeleton. That takes a while. So there you go. 27k DPS with sword and shield. Now that's with 4,030 weapon damage, 61% weapon critical, 80% critical damage, and 5k physical penetration only. Now we're going to go up here to the big guy and we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to show you guys another parse on this one. This time you will see the damage is going to be different, and that is because we are going to get every buff in the game from every class. Every debuff is going to get applied to this guy. That gives us max penetration, and it gives us max damage, max everything. So it's really crazy. Potion, buff, going through the process. And this time I'm going to actually use Dawnbreaker. Oops. I'm going to try and break 40. I did it earlier. Almost did it again. And the new spammable for shield is Power Slam, so if you are using it, it is very powerful. As you can see, I'm hitting upwards to 23k. So the highest I got it was about 38, 39k. I have broken 42k with this character on the big dummy, and on this smaller one I have done as high as 32k DPS. So, alright, but let's go ahead and take a look at our parse on that one. So 31,793 is what it said. It was actually higher than that. We had almost 5k weapon damage, 68% weapon critical, 80% critical damage. And if you look at here, a lot of people are going to say Deep Slash doesn't hit for that much. That's 18k on this thing. Okay, that's pretty good. Also, our Noxious Breath was hitting for a decent amount over time. Up front, it was doing a really good amount of damage as well. So you can see that it was doing 18k as well, up on its maximum hits. Flames of Oblivion does a lot of damage. Power Slam just does absurd damage now. Absurd. But that is just some of the highlights of Sword and Board, and just so people will understand, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to do a quick parse on this one, the 3 million, so this way you guys can see the sustain and everything, but I'm going to wait for the buffs to wear off before I do that, so this way you guys can see its total playthrough against a target dummy, and you guys can see how effective it can really be in that scenario. So I don't want any buffs applied to my character besides the ones I give them. I don't want all these extra beneficial ones that you get from the other target dummy, which basically gives you way too many properties to your character. If you don't know, you get Major Toughness, Minor Berserk, Aggressive Warhorn, Major Force, Minor Savagery, Minor Prophecy, Minor Sorcery, Hiracine's Veneer, Minor Brutality, Worm's Remnant, and Major Courage, all from that target dummy. And on top of that, you get max penetration against it. So, let's do this now. Now, I will probably only be able to pull about as much as I was on the little one, and that's because of the DPS discrepancy of not having the 100% penetration and all the other stuff. I'm going to be really bad at this one, because I've already made a few mistakes already. Just made another one. See if I can make up for it now. Yeah, I'm probably not going to be able to make up for the difference there. I've already made too many mistakes. But I'll keep going. It's fine. And I have to throw a heavy attack now because I'm running a little short on resources. And I've already... Jeez, how many mistakes do I have to make? See, I'm trying to keep my rotation to where I'm doing the shield slams on succession with each other, but it's just not working to my advantage there. And they said they fixed the weapon swap bug. They didn't, by the way. There we go. So roughly about 18k DPS. A little bit less, I will admit, than the other one. But you also have to understand that this is doing damage over a longer period of time and sustaining at the same time against something with 3 million health. This would basically be like fighting a trial boss. Okay, so I could sustain, and I could probably sustain better if I was using Dubious Cameron Throne, but my stats do go down, and I'm going to show you guys what the DPS looks like on that over here against this one, the little one again. So about 25k, and we'll go in here real quick and I'll show you guys what happened here. So wait, let me see if I can find the original one. So this is the original one that we started with, 27k on the original thing. Then we did the big one, which was 31,000. Which was actually 35, almost 39,000, but it drops really fast. And then 18,000 on the other one over there. A lot of people will say, well, that's not enough DPS, but you got to understand, I don't have max penetration. I don't have max everything like I do on the bigger target dummy. And then on this one, 25k DPS. And this thing has the same amount of resistances, by the way, as that one does. It's the reason why this one makes the DPS look a lot lower is because it's got prolonged damage that you have to do over time, and it's not something like you would be doing in a normal dungeon. This is more of like a controlled environment on fighting a trial boss that doesn't fight back, doesn't cause any problems, and you can do a perfect rotation on. This is, a lot of people say, well, it shows sustainability. I could kill this thing, and I don't have to worry about sustain issues. If I'm using Dubious Cameron Throne, I will never have sustain issues at all. So this thing is a joke. No offense, but it is. This one is really good to parse on, and I really like doing parse tests on this one if I can get 12 people. This one is really fun to do parse tests on. This is the robust target Centurion. This represents a raid or a trial hard mode boss. And the final boss usually will have about that much health. So this is really good for parsing with that. And if you have 12 people parsing with you, and you have everything going on like you would in a raid group, it works out really well. And you can see the consistency of everyone's DPS with it. And that's why I have a problem when I see people tell me that I need to parse on these because it's going to show sustainability, but you're not fighting bosses in dungeons with 3 million health. You're fighting bosses in dungeons with 1.8 million, 1.9 million, and that's even on normal and veteran modes. Now in hard mode, the final boss will have around, somewhere around 6 to 8 million health. So parsing on this would more or less be like playing hard mode dungeon, which not everyone plays. Most people play veteran or normal. So That's why I do the tests the way I do. But that's pretty much it for the video, guys. I just kind of want to give you guys a heads up, let you know what's going on, and pretty much just say, remember, this is week 1 of testing. We still got a lot more stuff to test. A lot of us do, and some of us are really at the point where we've tested a lot of things and our brains are just turning to mush. This is my last test for today. I'm actually going to take a break the rest of the day and enjoy my evening and everything with my son and my wife and animals, and just get away from the game for the rest of the day. So you guys have a good one, enjoy yourselves, and you guys know what's coming next. If you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you guys want to see more videos by me, you can subscribe. Other than that, I want to thank you all for watching. Until next time, have a wonderful day, and this guy might see you in game. Bye.